What's up, guys? Zeenigami here, and we've got a ton of One Piece Treasure Cruise news. Not only do we have, obviously, Rayleigh coming out on Global, but we also have version 8.0 on Japan, and a whole lot of information about Adventure Mode that we're all going to go over. Note that Adventure Mode is not out yet, is not going to be out until the 16th, so this is all information to prepare you for Adventure Mode coming out very soon. So on the global version of One Piece Treasure Cruise, yes, Rayleigh is coming out. Rayleigh is going to be out on the 19th of October. Unfortunately, that is going to be during Twitchcon, and so I will be in California for Twitchcon. If you are going to Twitchcon also, please hit me up. I'd love to say hi, but since I'll be out of town, it's going to be very difficult for me to make content for the Rayleigh raid boss. I'm going to try to, but, you know, it's going to be not our usual setup. It's going to look pretty run-of-the-mill, very low-key for that. But for what we're going to know about Rayleigh, it does tell us a lot about Rayleigh here. We know that Rayleigh is going to have Apprentice Shanks and Apprentice Buggy. Now, our best guess is that maybe Apprentice Shanks and Buggy will drop, but they're going to be the Fortnite versions. So that's Fortnite Apprentice Buggy and Fortnite Apprentice Shanks, since those two Fortnite characters already exist. Gonna be very similar to the Garp raid boss, how Garp has Helmeppo and Kobe on there. And Helmeppo and Kobe do drop, just at a very low rate. So we also know that we are going to get our Friend Captain binded, so we're special binded. Don't know how long that's going to be, if it's going to be like a 15-turn special bind, so it basically doesn't matter, or if it's going to be like a 99-turn special bind, so you can't use your special at all for the raid boss, and you're going to have to rely on just your 5 characters that you bring, and your Friend Captain's only good for his Captain ability or something like that. We'll have to see how long that special bind is and whether or not bringing a special bind remover, such as Temple Storm Nami or somebody, or not, just like Rare Recruit Nami, is going to be useful or not. Likely this is going to be a very long special bind, so you can't use your Friend Captain special ability. You also, while fighting the raid boss, something to note is that they use They Will, so they'll get a power boost, they'll do a special response, so it's likely that the boss stage is going to have Rayleigh, Shanks, and Buggy on there, so you're going to be fighting like 3 bosses at once. We don't know what color Rayleigh is going to be yet. We don't know his captain ability, his special ability, his class. We don't know any of that yet. Whenever we do know that information, I'm going to try and make a preparation guide to help you guys think of some teams that you could use before we get him actually out and actually are able to throw our faces at him and try to see how he works. So they are going to have a large defense boost. You might be able to stall this out if it's like a 2-3 turn defense boost. You might use a defense reducer such as Piranha, or a lot of this is pushing you towards Blue Legend Rob Lucci, who does a lot of things to counter this. Blue Legend Rob Lucci reduces enemy defense, gives you matching orbs, and heals you. 3 very important things that helps for this fight. So every turn that you're fighting them, they're going to increase your attack every single turn. Buggy is also going to make Perfects easier to hit on stage 1, so that's pretty nice. If you use a special delay, then they will deal heavy damage back to you. Not sure how much heavy damage is. It could be that it's a percent-based heavy damage, so you could use this to your advantage if you're using a team like a Whitebeard team or a Croc team. You can use a delay like Golden Pound Usopp, and not only will that, if it's a percent health-based heavy damage, like 80% your max health or your current health, if it's like 80% of your current health, then that's going to be very useful to use a delay if you want to drop your health on purpose. If it's a really large amount of damage, you could use like a Piranha special and then Golden Pound Usopp. So Piranha not only reduces their defense, but also reduces damage that you would take whenever you do use your delay on them. And important to note that it doesn't say they clear buffs when you delay. So if you can survive that heavy damage, the delay will be useful to you. And of course, it's going to be a 60 stamina raid boss. So get ready for that. Once again, don't know what color it is. We'll have to see what that is all about. But yeah, so Rayleigh's going to be coming out on the 19th. Get ready for it. Good luck. I'm going to try my best to make a guide for it, but I will be out of town at TwitchCon. Woo! On the Japanese version, with version 8.0, we have a free pull, which is pretty great. Let's go over the help menu. There is a very good Reddit post from Qualson, who goes over all the help menu information, but all the help menu is basically just information that is just paragraphs and paragraphs of information. Jesus burgers, he's good, but we already have him. But he does limit break those, so that is nice to have an extra one around. It's all under here. If you go here, you go to the 6th button, then go to the 4th button. All this is FAQ help information about the adventure mode, which if you could read Japanese, it would be useful. But seeing as we can't read Japanese, thank you so much to Qualson, who did the excellent work to go through all the information to actually like tell us what the heck it means. So, treasure map. The treasure map is going to be on the adventure mode button, obviously. It appears there. It's going to be very similar to the Dokkan battle system. You're going to be able to get limit break materials from there. And certain characters are going to have proficiency in battle, which I believe has to do with the characters that give you additional training points, which are the ones that we're going to show you later on. Where's our buggy team? Sure, good enough. There are going to be event boss characters, which are located at the end of the adventure mode map. If you have seen the adventure mode map, it's very similar to Dokkan Battle, where it's node based, and you're going to spin a little wheel, and your ship is going to move on that map depending on wherever how many moves that the wheel spins to. That spinning wheel is going to use a stamina system that will regain 1 stamina every 5 minutes, just like your regular natural stamina. And this will be a separate stamina wheel, so all the like extra islands, story mode islands, that's going to use 1 stamina wheel, and the adventure mode is going to use a different stamina wheel. This 0 stamina Mihawk right here is going to tell you a little about the adventure mode that we can't actually read, but if you could read it, I'm going to give you some preview information. Now, you're going to get limit break materials from treasure mode map. That'll help power up your crew. Great. There are going to be 3 different leagues in adventure mode, and that has to do with the way that they're going to be giving rewards. So you might think of the top 5,000 events that we've had so far that have 3 different difficulties, the lower, medium, and high difficulty. This time, they're going to break us up depending on your pirate level, and it's going to be your pirate level before the 12th. So at this point, your pirate levels are already locked in for what tier you're going to be in. Is going to be East Blue as the lowest tier, the Grand Line as the medium tier, and the New World League, which is going to be the highest tier, that is going to be only the top 30,000 pirate level players. After that, it's going to be the next 30,000 to 70,000 pirate level. No, it's going to be 70,000 players in the next pirate level tier, and then everyone else is going to be in the East Blue tier. So let's go over to... there are going to be treasure points. I can actually just show you the page right here. So there are going to be treasure points. Treasure points are collected by going on the treasure map. You're going to get lots of them. You'll be fighting against other players to get treasure points. You can't get treasure points outside of the event period, which is going to be... treasure points are how we're going to be placed on the top. Depending on what tier you're in, treasure points are going to put you up and down that tier. The treasure ranking is how you compare your points against other players. If the higher you place, the more rewards you get. Like we've seen that the top player is going to get 120 gems on the treasure ranking tier. So once again, this is very similar to the Admirals event that Global is going to be getting very soon, where the top 5,000 players are going to get a legend, and then the top 1 player gets like a ridiculous good stuff. The top 1 player in the treasure ranking is going to get 120 gems, and other stuff we'll see what they are when it comes out. Don't be defeated by your rivals. It's just some flavor stuff. The ranking rewards, you can see that on stuff that doesn't exist yet. You're going to be able to go to the rewards page and see what the rewards are. They'll be distributed 2 days after the events end, and you can claim it 4 days before the start of a new adventure event, treasure map event, whatever. Collecting treasure rewards, get the boss character by getting all the treasure rewards. You will be able to strengthen the event's boss character by a lot. Treasure rewards are distributed when a certain amount of treasure points are collected, regardless of your progression in treasure map. So no matter how far you make it in the map, depending on where you rank on the tier for treasure points, that's where you'll get your rewards. I know there's a lot of terminology I'm throwing out at you guys. Whenever we actually get this out, it will make a lot more sense, and I will make another video that goes over adventure mode and the treasure map and all that stuff, so that way it hopefully makes more sense to us, so that way we can see it, and I can click on this to show you what it's actually about. So here's talking about the stamina system. You're going to get 1 stamina every 5 minutes, just like for the regular modes so far. Spinning the wheel is going to use stamina. If you level up, you're going to be able to refill that stamina bar, once again using a gem to just refill stamina, just like your regular stamina bar here. And you can use a gem to refill or use pirate level to refill, and it will refill your stamina bar. You'll also be able to see your stamina bar right here on this button whenever this comes out, so you don't have to click on adventure mode to see your stamina. It'll be shown like right here, so you can see it just like you can see your stamina up here. There are going to be several oceans. Each ocean is going to have a boss. You have to beat the easier oceans to get to the harder oceans. When you die and don't gem to continue, you'll fail and you'll have to restart. You'll keep the items that you've gotten so far, even if you failed. Right, straightforward. Sailing through, you use the log post to spin a little bar that tells you how many places you move. You beat the boss. Different oceans will use different amounts of stamina. Cool. So an easier ocean, just like easier Fortnites, uses smaller amounts of stamina to move or to play. In adventure mode, easier oceans will use smaller amounts of stamina to spin it. Great, awesome. You'll be moving over different spots. These spots right here, just like Dokkan Battle, different spots. Oh, that's the stamina button. Thanks. Different spots will have different things. They'll have encounters and stuff, just like in Dokkan Battle. Each point is going to have different stuff to fight there. You land on a boss encounter, you're always going to fight the boss encounter, so you can't overspin a boss encounter. There are going to be mini boss battles. Amount of treasure points you get depends on the difficulty. You'll be able to increase your clearing level of that ocean area when you defeat the bosses. If you defeat one boss and choose to leave ocean area, this will count as one clear of the ocean area, and you will regain your clearing level. Your clearing level will only increase when you defeat all 5 bosses in the ocean area. So this is the most interesting part here. This is what I really want to get to. So multi-boss battles. You will fight a maximum of 5 bosses in a multi-boss battle spot. Crew members that you've used in a battle against a boss can't be used again in that multi-boss battle. Therefore, you need at least 25 characters. It's actually a minimum of 25 characters to clear all 5 bosses. Think wisely who you use in which battle. No. Yeah, maximum of 25. Well, actually, you're going to have to use exactly 25 characters, because you have to use 5 different characters every single time. So, here's what it means. Is that if you use a boss... If you use like a slasher team against boss 1, all those characters on that slasher team are basically not allowed on your next bosses. So I use like Mihawk, Raid Boss Mihawk, Raid Boss Dofi. You can't use Raid Boss Mihawk and Raid Boss Dofi again. Important to note that this is only based off of the character's ID in the Pokédex. So if you have an evolved or an unevolved version, or if you have a Neo version versus a regular version, they are different characters. So I can use a slasher team with Dex Mihawk and Dex Dofi, and I can use the slasher team with Neo Mihawk and Neo Dofi, and those will be 2 okay teams to use on the multi-boss battle. Your friend captain also counts, so I can't use a slasher team with a 6-star Zoro friend captain and then use the Neo slasher team with 6-star Zoro again. You're gonna have to use a different slasher friend captain. So you're gonna have to really like plan a lot about that. You can't just use a Lucy team for everything. You're gonna use like a fighter team for one fight, then a free spirit team for another, then a slasher team, then a shooter team. So this is really cool. It helps you, like, I really like this idea that, alright, so I'm gonna use, like, I know this fight's pretty easy, so I'm gonna use a bunch of bad characters, that way I can save all my good characters for the later fights. That's gonna be like super exciting and super fun to use, and I can't wait for that system to see how that actually plays out. Crewing levels. Great. If you beat all the bosses, you clear the level. It's good enough. You get it harder whenever you clear the level. Great. Crew that you can only rely on. These are crew members that will increase the amount of treasure points you get. We're gonna show that in a minute. And losing navigation stamina becomes 0. Losing clearing levels. 1 adventure map, you can retire it by going to retire from adventure when you choose to not restore from the save point or when you die and don't choose to continue. So it's just more stuff about failure and what happens if you fail and you have to reset the map. That's a lot of stuff that we talked about. I understand if you're confused. Let's go over stuff that you can actually see again. So here in the news, we have a new Seagull Fest. That's fun, right? New Seagull Fest is going to have the new Zoro, new Buggy. These 2 new characters are on the database. New Buggy is going to be a boost the attack of characters that cost 30 less by 2.25 and boost their health as 1.2 as their captain. Special ability will reduce defense of all enemies by 100% for 1 turn, reduces damage received from strength characters by 80% for 1 turn, and boosts orbs effectiveness by 1.5 for 1 turn. The new Zoro is going to be a dex slasher. He is going to have a captain that boosts attack of slasher by 2.25 and their health by 1.3. His special ability deals 13 times the attack in dex to 1 enemy and removes end of turn damage or percent cutting, the buff that enemies have, the end of turn damage percent cut, and also shuffles all your orbs including block orbs. And that's on a 9 turn cooldown, so that's pretty great. They're only going to be available during this Sugo. And on the first multi-pull, you're going to have guaranteed gold. Third multi-pull, 5th, 7th, and 9th are all guaranteed legends. So only the first one is guaranteed gold. 3, 5, 7, and 9 are guaranteed legend multi-pulls. So if you want to do pulls, up to you, go for it. If you don't want to do pulls, that's fine. I probably won't be doing pulls either because I'd rather just save my gems. And I crashed One Piece Treasure Cruise, so that's like totes my goats. The new Mihawk that's going to be available on Adventure Mode is ridiculously good and by far the best free-to-play character that has ever existed. He's actually better than, I'd say, most legends. The new Mihawk, important to note that on the database, we have him. It's kind of funny he doesn't look that good on the database, especially his captain ability, because his captain ability changes dramatically once you limit break the ability to better his captain ability. Now, the new Mihawks, if you look in the game details that I'll show once we get back in, his max health is 3,400, max attack is 1,600, max recovery is 266. His captain ability boosts the attack of slasher characters by 2.5 times. Here's a new Mihawk. He's just a strength slasher, no secondary class. He is a 60 cost character, so he's gonna be the highest non-saint character there is. Captain ability boosts the attack of slashers by 2.5 times, boosts your health by 1.3 times, and if you use his special, then he boosts his captain ability boosts by 3.5 times that turn instead. So just like Kizaru's special or Gear 4 Luffy or Timeskip Luffy, if you use his special, then his captain ability gets better. And it's gonna be probably like Gear 4 Luffy and Timeskip Luffy, where it doesn't count if you use like a friend Mihawk's special. His special ability, speaking of, deals 100 times his attack in typeless damage to all enemies. That's a huge amount of damage. That's actually like just straight up math. You can add multiply that by 100. You can do it. He'll lock your chain multiplier by 2.75 times for 1 turn, and will also boost the orbs of slashers by 2 times. And it starts at a 37 turn cooldown. 37 turn cooldown starts at, but it goes all the way down to a 14 turn cooldown. So you're going to need 23 skill ups. Now, if you have those skill books from before, especially those 4-star skill books, he does start out as a 4-star character, so if you get 1 copy of him, you can use those 4-star skill books, level up his special ability, and then evolve him later to make him a 5-star. That's what I'm going to be doing with all my extra 4-star skill books. Here are his Sailor abilities. His Sailor ability to boost the attack of slasher characters by 50. Sailor ability to make quick orbs count as beneficial on himself. Those are his stats. He's got 2 limit break abilities, 1 for crit hits and 1 for orb bind reduction. You can get limit break materials for this new Mihawk from Adventure Mode. This is just telling you that this is his captain ability. This is his special ability, and captain ability goes down to 14 turns. This is more stuff about his sailor abilities or limit break abilities, blah blah blah. During these time periods, the treasure map will also get skill books for Mihawk. So yeah, you can get skill books for Mihawk, and of course like additional copies for Mihawk as well. So you don't have to just like work on getting all the way through to get his special leveled up. So on the 16th, the 18th, the 21st, and the 22nd, there are going to be time blocks where you're going to get double points from the adventure mode. This is a breakdown about the leagues that I talked about earlier. So depending on what your pirate level was up until the 12th, so that's already over, your pirate level is basically locked in, so I'm locked in at 420. The top 30,000 players are going to be in the New World League. The next 70,000 players, so from 30,000 to 100,000 top, based on your pirate level, are going to be in the Grand Line League, and then all the rest of the players are going to be in the East Blue League. On the next time that we get the league system, so after this league system period is over, the next time is going to be based on where you rank in that league period. So the bottom 5,000 of the 30,000 New World players are going to get demoted to Grand Line. The top 5,000 of Grand Line are going to get promoted to New World. Then the bottom 10,000 of Grand Line is going to get demoted to East Blue, and the top 15,000 of East Blue is going to get promoted to Grand Line. So we're actually going to get 5,000 extra player pushed into the Grand Line whenever the rotation comes back around, or whenever rotation period happens. These are the characters that are going to have their stats boosted on the adventure mode. So Buggy gets his stats boosted by 2.5 times, so just straight up 2.5 times stat boost for the new Buggy. He also gives you 1.5 times additional points if you use him, and will get his cooldowns reduced by 10 turns at the start of the island. The Zoro gets 1.25 times points if you use him, stats boosted by 2.5 times also, and will get his cooldowns reduced by 5 turns. The Legend Lucy is going to have 1.2 times additional points, 1.2 times stats, and 5 turn damage cooldown reduction. And all of these characters here are going to give you 1.1 times adventure mode points, and will get their cooldowns reduced by 3 times. So here's some important characters, some highlights for you guys. These two are the new Fortnite characters. These two are Fortnite characters, so we have 4 Fortnite characters here. This is the free-to-play Koala, who gives you extra EXP and stuff. Here's some Coliseum characters, very good Coliseum characters, and of course Raid Boss Sanji. These are all the Neo characters, so basically all the Neo bosses are going to help boost your points if you use them, so you really want to use those Neo versions instead of the regular versions. And then some more legends down here to use, and like rare recruits right here. So all these characters are really nice to boost your points for each one that you use. Now this is probably a stacking bonus, so if you have like a full team of characters, you use a Buggy, you use a Lucy, you use a bunch of characters down here, you're going to be boosting your points by a lot for every single run. And we're not done yet! Oh my goodness, there's so much to say. Go, 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 go. Can't remember what's in here until I see it. Just training mode stuff. So the Zero Stamina Island I did before that I told you about adventure mode, there's going to be a new one every single day. That will be here until the 22nd, then they'll go away from the 13th to the 22nd, 14th, 15th, 16th to the 22nd. It's just Zero Stamina basically gives you free stuff since we can't read Japanese anyways. There's going to be a free pull every single day during the Sugo Fest. So from the 14th to the 22nd, we're going to get a total of 8 free pulls during Sugo. And yes, you can get legends during that Sugo, so fingers crossed, hopefully you'll get one of the new legends, or not one of the new legends because there's no new legends, one of the new characters like the Buggy or the Zoro, or a legend that you don't already have. I'm rooting for you. The Fortnites are going to return. Note that these Fortnites are the ones with the characters that are going to boost your points on the adventure mode. So Carrot and Wanda and Momonosuke and... wow, I just blanked on his name. Kinemon. Fortnites are going to be returning, so you have a chance to level them up before adventure mode rocks out. It's going to be here till the 16th. Princess Turtles regular turtles, super success, double drops from evolvers, friend points for logging in, turtles from friend point event, skill ups, evolver and booster island back around. Remember once again that evolver and booster island cost only 7 stamina. Secret mode for booster island is a princess turtle, and you can always quit out of the island, come back in until you get that princess turtle if you want to. Secret drop for the evolver island is a rainbow dragon, and once again you can quit and come back in until you get the drops that you want. And koala until the 9th, which is already over. Woo! That, I want to say, is everything that we know so far about version 8.0 and Limit Break. Version 8.0 basically gave us some stuff like some small fixes, but a lot of the stuff that's going to be out on Adventure Mode has been put into the game already, so we're waiting basically for the release of Adventure Mode on the 16th, and I will be around for that, so we will be able to dive in, check out Adventure Mode, and see how well it's going to work. Oh, you know what I haven't gone over? There's one last thing. There are new Limit Breakable characters. So we have more Limit Breakable characters. They are flagged as Limit Breakable on the database, but we don't have the full list of what the limit breaks are. We're still working on that. We'll get those out soon. Once again, guys, remember to thank Solaris333 on Reddit. His name is Aladdin Just Saying. He's the one who basically puts everything in the database. So really, really thank him if you're using the database a lot, which you probably are, especially if you play a Japanese version. He's the man who you really gotta say thank you. So Whitebeard's got new limit breaks all the way up there. Barto, Raid Boss Sanji already had limit break. I don't know why I mentioned him. Blamenco Kid now have limit break. Some important characters to note that now have limit break. As far as the farmable characters, I'm just going to point out the farmable characters that have limit breaks. We got Int, Aokiji, and Virgo. So Raid Boss Virgo is now limit breakable. Int, Aokiji is breakable, limit breakable. 5+ Zoro and 5-star Zoro are limit breakable. So probably that all the Straw Hats will be limit breakable. I would highly recommend saving Straw Hats that you get from those 5 stamina Straw Hat Islands from now on, until you can use them as limit break materials. Virgo, Dex Virgo right there is limit breakable. We have Colosseum, Ganfor, Conjuro, and Orlumbus who are now limit breakable. So Nekomamushi is now, Nami is now, Uji, Squard. So Ganfor, Conjuro, and Orlumbus all limit breakable now. And Zoro and those and all the rest are like rare crew characters. Int Aokiji now has limit breaks. There are also new limit break abilities. Limit breaks such as this one that reduces damage taken from a certain color. And no, this is Orb Bind Reduction. That's an old one. Characters that have that are like Nekomamushi, who has damage reduction from Strength type. So he reduces damage taken from Inuarashi if he were to fight Inuarashi. I like that. That's a good flavor. So he reduces damage taken by Strength type. Remember that disc levels up from 2%, so it just starts at 2%. Don't know what it goes up to because I haven't reached that point yet. We'll have all that on the database later on. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff. All these, once again, there's so many limit breaks to go over that we are going to have all of this on the database later on, just not yet, just because there's a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff we got to parse through to actually get that on the database. Whew. So that's pretty neat, pretty great. Guys, I've been Zeenigami. Thank you so much for watching. New 8.0 stuff. Raid Boss Rayleigh coming out on Global on the 19th. Thank you so much for sitting through this entire video. If you did, super great. If you're going to Twitchcon, hit me up. I want to see you. It's going to make me very happy. And we'll be coming back on the 16th to go over new adventure mode and more stuff about that. I've been Zeenigami. Thank you so much for watching, and y'all stay beautiful.